Hey guys, so I decided to make a little bit of a controversial video because this is reality and this is the world we live in, and the ideas I'm going to talk about could really potentially help people, and I'm not really concerned about the naysayers and those that live in a bubble that may be unwilling to live in the real world. But what you are looking at is a collection of homemade fertilizers that I've made, and the primary ingredient is urine. Yep, urine, human urine. There's so much information and data that you can observe online. There's been books written about using human urine for fertilizer, especially on fruit trees and perennials. You obviously would not want to be fertilizing your lettuces and leafy vegetables that are in close contact with the ground that you're going to be consuming, as you do have more of a risk to have bacteria that you don't want on those leaves. But urine is a very, very safe fertilizer for perennial vegetables, fruits, fruit trees, nut trees, etc. So what you're seeing here is a collection of about a month's worth of urine, just on and off. Now what you're looking at is not pure urine. I use about a cup of ash per gallon of urine. And what that allows me to do is have a complete fertilizer source. Urine is very, very high in nitrogen, and wood ash is really, really high in potassium, and it gives you a pretty well-rounded fertilizer. The longer you age urine before you use it in the garden, it is recommended to age your urine. You would not want to collect and use your urine if you take pharmaceuticals, because those do pass directly into your urine, and you would want to use your own discretion and research whether things that you take would be safe to place in your garden. So everything you're seeing is not just urine and wood ash. I have in the darker containers over here, this is urine and compost, so it's really dark. And I have urine and tithonia. This is just moringa and water. And this is just moringa, or no, this is actually a collection of weeds. So this is bamboo, mint, tithonia, chickweed, Biden's, alba. It's a collection of weeds. These two containers are pure urine that I'm going to be burning today and adding ash to. Also, by adding the ash, it does help eliminate the smell. And then in these two containers, there's ash and charcoal. So yeah, I have a selection of fertilizers that I'm creating, and this is something that people should implement if you have relatively clean urine, simply because it's a really sustainable and regenerative fertilizer that you can use and make yourself. Now, like I said, you don't want to use this fertilizer on leafy greens and you don't want to use this fertilizer on produce that you're going to be selling, obviously. Unfortunately and fortunately, depending on how you look at it, that's, I believe, illegal to do. Although you could probably use, you know, like cow urine or another animal's urine. I don't know, I have some opinions about that. But yeah, so you'd want to dilute this fertilizer, of course. Say 1 cup of urine fertilizer per gallon of water would be a good idea. You could dilute it a lot more than that. Or I have used urine directly onto plants like my bananas, and they operate just fine. They use that nutrient, but it is recommended to dilute your urine fertilizer. I've watched a lot of videos and did research on using urine and as a fertilizer, and it seems pretty safe. I've used it on my bananas, like I've said, and on like my bamboo plants and my moringa trees. So I'm excited to continue using this fertilizer and these combinations of fertilizers, and to see how they do on my perennial trees. I'd love to hear your comments about using urine as a fertilizer, and whether you do it, you're disgusted by it, you're willing to try it, or just what your thoughts are on urine as a fertilizer. Many countries around the world use this, and it makes sense. It's something that you can actually generate for free if you drink water, and we should all be drinking water. Now, human manure, on the other hand, is a more in-depth topic of how you would use that. I do not use human manure, my own manure, to fertilize my plants, as I live in a residential area, and most processes, unless you're using a composting toilet, you know, it's just a little more challenging. I'd use my human manure to fertilize my fruit trees if I had a composting toilet, and if I had another way of digesting manure, which will be in some future videos that I'm speaking with a company about. But yeah, I would just like to know your thoughts, if you watch this video, on urine as a fertilizer. Peace.